Alright, like I said at the end of my last video, I'm going to do a quick video on my K-bar single mark, my K-bar short single mark, and how impressed I am with this knife. This knife here, I have been carrying this thing for the better half of, oh boy, give me a minute here while I remember when I bought this. I think I bought this in November of last year. Yes, because I used it during deer season to cut some brush while we were in our out hunting. So I've been carrying this thing for, say, about 9 months, give or take. And I am absolutely impressed with this knife. K-bar has got a doozy here. I'm no stranger to K-bars, as you guys know. I own, this will be my third K-bar, because I've got the USMC standard K-bar, which is the big brother of this, or I think that's right to say that way. Bigger version of this, but it's got USMC right here. This is a single mark, because that's all it's got. It's got K-bar, Olean, New York on it. And I've got the USN Mark 1, which I absolutely adore the USN Mark 1. That was my favorite knife before I got this one. But this little darling here, oh my. This is a utility knife and a half, guys. If you're looking for a fixed blade knife that you need for like everyday use, that isn't too big or too clunky, and you can put in your pocket like I do. I put it in my back pocket like it's an actual pocket knife when it's a fixed blade. This one right here is the one for you, because this thing is handy dandy and it's razor sharp. I take a belt to this one. I'll have to show you guys how to strop. I haven't used the stone method on this one yet. Probably really ought to. I've cut something that had like gunk on it right there. Is it on the other side? Nope. So I need to oil it up. But I use the strop method on it because I have a belt. I was using the belt I had been wearing for 3 years, but I got a new belt now, so the other one's become a permanent strop belt. So I've been using the strop technique, and the strop technique really gets a knife sharp in a hurry. Stones are good. I'm going to do the stone method on this knife before long, and I will use the stone method on the other two knives I just talked about as well, and see how good of a edge it gets on those. But I will do the strop and knife or stone sharpening techniques on this one. This thing is like, if this is all you had, you'd be in business, because not only does the edge hold a very good edge, like the blade, the serrations come in handy for cutting stuff too. Because if you're cutting cardboard, for example, and some people will be like, oh, why are you cutting cardboard with your K-bar? Well, I mean, if you don't have a box cutter, this is next best thing, as long as you sharpen it back up after you've cut a lot of cardboard with it. But these serrations will dig into the cardboard and weaken it, chew through it, and then you can get it with the rest of the blade. But all in all, this thing here, I've been extremely impressed with it. Now I know some people will be like, it looks like you've barely used it. It's like it's still got its finish in comparison to, like, say, my USMC. That's because I use this one for more lighter tasks than the USN Mark 1 and the USMC. The USMC is basically a all-around, like, of course it's a combat knife, so is this. They're both combat knives. All three of them, all the K-bars I have are combat knives. But they can also be good utility knives as well. Now that doesn't mean you hack a tree down with one. I see people use knives for that, and it kind of blows my mind. I mean, if a knife can cut a tree down and you're able to do it, I mean, go for it. But that's not what these were designed for. But you can use them for light utility work, like cutting boxes and slashing open containers and clear. You can use them as machete too, clear brush. These things will go through tree limbs and briar thickets like a weed whacker. What I like about this one, the short, is how handy it is. That's kind of, most people would be like, well, you already have a USM Mark 1, so why'd you get this for? The USM Mark 1 and this are basically the same length. And the difference being is that the Mark 1 has a little bit thicker blade. The width of it's a little thicker. I don't know if the actual edge is different. But this one, while being a little bit longer, sorry, I'm getting out of frame, while being a little bit longer, is just as handy as the Mark 1. And the reason I got this too is because I plan to collect all the K-bars, or try to get all the mainline fixed blade K-bars and put them through their paces. But this one I've been using mostly as a quasi pocket knife. I keep this in my back pocket. Sometimes I hook it to my belt. It depends. It really depends on how active I'm going to be for the day. If I'm going to be out moving a lot and stuff, I'll hook it to my belt. But if I'm just like, you know, going to the mall or going shopping or going out to eat, I'll just throw it in my back pocket like it's a pocket knife. Yeah, the back end sticks out. It covers about right here. Depending on what pair of pants I'm wearing, the pocket comes about right here, and this all sticks out. But in the state of Indiana, it is you are legal to carry any length knife that you want. And I've yet to have anybody stop me and tell me, hey, you can't have that. Of course, you know, if the business has signs up and stuff that says you can't have a knife or a gun in there, I'll leave it out in the vehicle. But if I don't see any of those signs, then I just assume that it's okay to carry into the building. Let's talk about the sheath a little bit here. Okay, so this has the brown leather sheath that my other two K-bars have. This one being the single mark, it just says K-Bar USA, has no military branch affiliation, and it leaves a big long leather space. It goes down to here, but I put tape on there. I'll talk about that here in a minute. But if you want to do some wood burning, or not wood burning, leather burning, if you have a leather burner or any kind of little tool that you can like engrave or put an image there, or a laser cutter, this whole spot right here is good for artwork and designs of your choice, if you so desire. You know, make it your own. I've thought about doing that, but at the same time I haven't got around to it. Maybe I will. I might put a big old skull and crossbones right there with a leather press stamp or something. But as you can see, I've used it quite a bit already. It's already starting to show a lot of wear. Not so much back here, but it's already like getting wore out up here where the clamp is, and from where I've took it in and out. So I do use it quite a bit. Let's talk about why I've got it wrapped in duct tape down here and why it looks like a mess. So these sheaths are made in Mexico, and not that that has anything to do with quality, but this knife, wearing it in your pocket like I do, make it a pocket knife, it is starting to poke. It was starting to poke a little hole in the sheath down here, right here where this little hump is. So I had to wrap it up in duct tape to give it some protection to keep that point from coming out and getting me and possibly ruining the sheath some more. A lot of people will be like, oh, that looks ugly. I mean, yeah, it does, but hell, that part of the sheath nobody ever sees, and if they do, I mean, it's a working knife. It's not going to look pretty. So, all in all, so far, for my first impressions of this bad boy, I'm ecstatic. Absolutely enjoy this knife, and it feels good carrying it because I know I have a reliable fixed blade in my back pocket that I can use for anything from opening cardboard boxes to, well, I don't ever want to have to actually hit somebody with the knife, but hey, if they're going to try and mess with me or threaten my life in any sense of the or shape, if I don't have a pistol, then the knife's going to get used if I don't have a handgun on me that day. So all in all, from my first impressions of this Ka-Bar single mark, I'm very impressed. It's my favorite fixed blade right now. I still have the other two that are in storage. Well, I take that back. The big Ka-Bar is in storage, and the USN Mark 1 is in a duffel bag for travel. But all in all, so far I give this knife a thumbs up. So anyway, until the next video, which I might do another one real quick, I'll catch you all on the next one. Peace.